welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions, brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This is the spoiler review episode for Eternals. Again, this is Marvel's latest entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look, you can watch our official non-spoiler review if you want to hear our general thoughts on the film. But this one is for people who've watched this movie or want to get it spoiled for them for some fucking random reason before they see it. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. So let's get into it. Look, we both like the movie quite a bit, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about how Chloe Zhao was able to put a movie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe that made you use your brain.
Yeah,
crazy,
man,
crazy.
So I've read the only Eternals book I've read was the miniseries written by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by John Romita Jr. And in that,
one of those names is great.
In that, the Eternals kind of all lost their memories but they were having dreams and visions, and they had to kind of, remember who you are, right? And I see a little bit of that miniseries in this. I also see a little bit of some of the newer Eternals stuff in here. I see some of Zack Snyder's Superman, which, according to Chloe Zhao, was the inspiration for Icarus. Not inspiration, but heavily influenced, right? Which is why you get the Superman, they name drop Superman in the movie,
right?
And yeah, this movie is about the nature of being.
He's a somber asshole too. He's not about hope. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Turns out. Yeah. People were like, oh, she copied him. Not in the ways that you think. I think that says more about Zack Snyder's portrayal than anything. But go ahead.
So, yeah, man, the movie's about the nature of being. And, it's wild to me, man. I believe in God, but our relationship status would be it's complicated, right? Because there are certain things that there are certain things that I just can't there are certain squares that I can't circle,
right?
And just to tell me faith is the answer. I understand, right? That's the gimmick, right? That's the rub. That's the thing you got to believe in, right? But sometimes it's difficult. And then I start to wonder, as most people do, right? Why am I here? And what's the point of all this? And this movie is talking about that stuff,
right?
Very openly, and they're using science fiction as a metaphor to talk about this stuff, and I just find it super intriguing, man. The fact that I think it's I kind of think it's a bit of an atheist's commentary, right? Because it turns out God's an asshole, right?
So there's that, and then there's another point that you made that I think is 100% correct, which we'll talk about too, which has some serious political aspects.
Yeah, man, but it's I like these conversations. I like these conversations in this, in this Marvel movie, right? I like that these series of films can have allowed themselves to be diverse enough to talk about stuff like this,
right?
And yeah, man. What are some of your immediate spoiler thoughts?
So, one, before we even get into the existential conversation, a couple of things, surface things. it is, because of the nature of this film, they couldn't sort of like push this narrative ahead of time. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe just had a movie that was led by an Asian woman. Not director, I mean character. Cersei is the main character of this movie. It is not Icarus, which is incredibly important to make a note of.
It's also like the point of one of the points of the movie within.
Right, is that this white man who's like, he's the strongest, he's the leader, and it's like, he's actually not the strongest.
Like someone literally says that.
Yeah, they're like, yo, he's the strongest one. Like, what the fuck? Why isn't this guy leading? And it's like, but he's not, though. Like, she just wasn't aware of her full capabilities by the end. She does realize. So I think that's important. Like Captain Marvel was the first female-led Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. This is the first woman of color led film, which I think is pretty dope, right? Spoiler alert, probably Black Panther 2 is also going to be the first, black woman-led one, right? Like, I'm sure Shuri is probably the lead. That's the reports anyway. So I think that's important to understand. I think that's important to note. It's also important to note that Phastos, played by Brian Tyree Henry, is the first openly gay character to like have like a real openly gay character, right? To actually have an on-screen kiss with another man in a Disney movie, which I think is also important to note, right? This movie we talked about on the main show has been banned in like Qatar and Saudi Arabia and some other places because like, ooh, gay people are scary to them. I thought that was one of the most heartwarming scenes in the fucking entire movie. Like, I thought it really was. And like, I got a little bit emotional, right? And it was like, not because of the kiss, right? I wasn't like, what am I going to do? Like, my brain is on fire. Like, no, it was actually the part where he's talking to his son, right? Like, that was the part that I was like, yeah, you got me, Zoe. You like, or Chloe, you got me. Like, it was emotional. And then follow that with him having this kiss with his husband, which I thought was incredibly important. Like, that just kind of made me feel like it just was well done. It was incredibly well done.
He's going off to war and he's leaving his spouse. Like,
and his child.
And his child. Like, if you can't understand that, like, just because they're of the same sex, you're the problem, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like super obvious, right? And the movie even kind of goes like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, they don't explicitly say that, but it's teed up in a way of like, only weirdos would have a problem with this scene because we've seen this scene in movies a million times, right? This is a trope in action movies a million times over. So I will say, like, I got a little choked up in that scene just because I thought it was so well done. I thought the cast and all of those things were great, and that's like all standard kind of stuff. But the movie is very smart, and it's smarter, I would argue, than any other Marvel movie. It just is. And that doesn't mean I don't respect those movies. I think a lot of those, and I don't think they're all dumb kicking and punching movies either, right? Winter Soldier, being one of my favorite Marvel movies, is about the Patriot Act, right? Like, I'm well aware of the deeper meaning there. This one, however, just hits on these messages of existentialism in a far deeper way than any of the other previous Marvel movies. It just does. So yeah, I thought that was pretty stellar. But let's talk about the existentialism, and then we're going to talk about abortion, because that is absolutely something in this movie, which you pointed out to me, which I 100% agree with you. It is a conversation that is had in this film, and I don't think a lot of people are going to see that. I really don't, and that's probably, honestly, probably a good thing, because people are really ridiculous when it comes to the topic. But I wish they would like actually like think about it, because it's actually well done.
So it turns out, in the film, the leader of the Eternals, Ajak, played by Salma Hayek, is mysteriously murdered by the Deviants, and the matrix of leadership is passed to Gemma Chan. Gemma Chan's character, Cersei. And about halfway into the movie, Gemma-chan speaks with God, and
Who is a
God in this
celestial
case is God in this case is a celestial, and each like universe has a celestial, or each planet or whatever has a celestial, and that kind of oversees it.
Erisham is his name. Erisham the judge.
Erisham the judge. And there are a bunch of different gods, right? Each one has their own thing. And God tells Cersei, hey, the reason that you are here, we created you, right? You are essentially angels. We created you to enact this plan that we have, where we want you to essentially be our divine hand and assist humanity to a point where once humanity has reached a certain level, then it will activate the birth of a new god, but destroy the humanity that lives on that planet. But by birthing a new god, that god will be able to create an entire other universe with billions and trillions of potential lives. So now these angels, who are literally programmed, right? Like they're programmed by God. And I'm using angels and God specifically because that's what angels are in the Christian belief, right? Like they do not have, they are servants to God, and they do not have free will.
Right.
These angels in this movie have to reconcile with the fact that, one, they never had free will, and two, like, what happens when they do try to have free will?
Right.
Do you just go along with what you think God wants you to do, even if you don't think it's right? Or do you break away from God? But by breaking away from God, by defying God, you could be essentially killing unborn people, right? Like, and then it's like, well, if you quote unquote kill what's not born, are you killing them? Like, that's where the abortion thing comes in for me.
I mean, you're not wrong, dude. Like, it's a stellar observation, because you're absolutely not wrong here. Like, that's right. It's obvious. When you say it, you're like, yeah, duh. Why the fuck would they do it? I read a comment on Instagram. Mistake on my part. I'm the idiot. And this guy was like, I just didn't understand why they would do that. That ruined the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's stupid. Like, don't do that. Really, Thor the Dark World didn't ruin it for you, but this did? All right, knock it off. It's the worst movie in the MCU, please. But it is a stellar point that the reason they have that set up, the reason why, I don't know if that's a thing true to the comics. I really don't. I don't know, like, deep lore about the Celestials. I don't even care. You don't have to fucking write in. I don't give a shit. I just don't. But the reason why Chloe Zhao has that here is to have that conversation about, is it worth destroying the life of the mother, Earth, for the potential of life elsewhere? Hello, McFly. Like, that's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. It's not just the good guys are fighting the bad guys. Like, there's way more here. Abortion, my nigga? Like, really? This is what we're talking about? That's incredibly smart.
Yeah. And most people won't pick it up, right? But no. It's not, and look, I'm not saying that to be a dick, right? Like, it's just something, it's just a thought, right? It's just a thought that's incepted into your head, right? To make you think about it. And you have people who
incepted, you know, you have
fuck
off. By the way, fuck off. Fuck you. God damn it. Chris
you
Nolan wearing a
have
suit in the background, like, yes, use that word. That's right.
you have characters. Your 10 main characters. They run the gamut of what what like one character. One character is like, well, this is my God told me to do this. He's essentially a fundamentalist.
Yeah,
God told me to
Icarus.
do this.
Icarus is a
Right.
fundamentalist.
God told me to do this. I have to do it. Right. You have Gemma Chan's character who's like, but nah, yo, like killing in the immediate is wrong. You have Kingo, who is like, I mean, I'm not a fundamentalist, but I don't believe but I still believe in God, right? Like, I don't know if I want any part of this. You have Sprite, who represents, who quite literally represents ignorant youth, and they're just like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go with the strong man, right? I'm gonna go with the big strong man. Like he will lead us into where we need to go. And it just God, I found this movie really interesting, man. And
But-
I love
but even-
having these conversations.
Right. But even Sprite is even, I agree with you actually on your points about Sprite, but Sprite's even deeper than that. Sprite represents a character. She is a character who, by the way, stellar performance by her, right? This kid's like 15 or 16 years old. Like stellar performance.
Yeah, I thought this was just like a petite grown person.
Right. No, she is a fucking kid.
She's a child, man.
Yeah, like she's laying out some pretty heavy dialogue, which I thought was impressive. But Sprite represents something that's even, I think, even deeper than that, which is Sprite represents, in a way, and I don't mean to trivialize this. I truly don't. In a way, Sprite represents people who feel like they didn't get their fair shake from God, right? Like a disabled person or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
She says it.
Right.
Why did God make me this way?
Why did God make me this way? Right? Of all of the other characters that Arishem makes, right? Which it is important. Like Arishem is a complete Marvel made up character, but Tiamat, the coming god of this world that they have to stop, who would destroy the Earth, actually a real god, by the way, in history. We'll talk about that in a second. But Arishem makes all of these characters, all these angels, adults in the adult world. He makes Sprite is a child. Sprite doesn't grow older. Sprite is subject to the world and the whims of being a child in the real world, right? Even though Sprite has powers and can do all these things and is quite capable, she can never progress, like physically progress. How many people have said, whatever disabilities or however they see it, why did God make them that way? Like, that is an incredibly poignant thing, right? She pushes against God in the end by wanting to no longer be an angel. She wants to be human because she feels that God wronged her. Like, that is a bold statement. In one aspect, you could make the argument that that's an atheist journey, right? Why did God make me this way? You know what? I mean, and I'm not saying this like as an anti-religious thing, but fuck God, I want to do something else. Right? Like there is a like a tremendous aspect of this movie that introduces religion and then pushes against it. And then there are other characters who are introduced to that religion and who don't bend. They're just like Icarus is who he is to the very end. And the movie doesn't redeem him. He was like, yo, this is my job. And they were like, don't do that. And he was like, this is my job. God told me to do this. And I'm so disappointed that I failed that I literally killed myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's
and
not
I feel,
I
feel bad for that character, man. I feel bad for that character.
Actually.
And normally it's like, oh, well, that guy's a traitor. Fuck him forever, right? But no. Like imagine that you hold a belief in something and someone constantly is trying to tell you that no, your belief is wrong. Your belief is and it's not like I don't agree with it. No, your belief is wrong.
Right.
And of course you're going to push back, right? You're going to push back. And if, push comes to shove and you just can't fight anymore, you feel like you failed God. Like, yeah, of course. Look, I don't want to say what people might do, but I 100% understand that character. I understand that character more than most.
Right.
And,
I mean, how many religious people have lost their religion and they feel wayward, right? Things have been introduced in their lives and they become wayward and they're just like, I don't know what to do, whether that's suicide or whatever. In his case, he would live forever with this knowledge, knowing that he failed, so he couldn't, right? But that's obviously not the case for everybody. But they become people. Some people just become wayward and they're just like, I don't know, right? For whatever reason. There's also an aspect to this that I think is really interesting, which is there are many aspects, and we're not done talking about this, but there's also another aspect of this movie that I want to talk about, and you and I have not talked about this, so I'm curious about your thoughts. Gemma Chan's character of Cersei, in the end, she gets Arishem comes to Earth, which is a fucking thing. Holy shit. It's like, yo, I'm pissed. And he comes, he's like, you fucked up. And he comes and he grabs her and he takes her. He's like, I will spare this planet, but only basically, I'm going to read your thoughts on your judgment of these people. And if that shit doesn't fly with me, that these people aren't worth a damn, I'm going to come and I'm going to kill this planet. Right? And Cersei's whole arc is that she disagrees with the idea of quote unquote, what's going to happen, right? She disagrees with the plan, right? The plan for Earth. One could make an argument that that's what Lucifer did with God.
That's exactly what Lucifer did. That's exactly
right?
what Lucifer did, which is why he is the fallen angel, right?
Right. So this idea that Cersei is the quote unquote hero of the story, but in the eyes of religion, she's in the eyes of Icarus, right? A fundamentalist, or in the eyes of Arishem or any of these other people, other celestials or, whatever, she's the devil because she defied God.
Yeah.
And her payment at the end is, I will let these people live, but if I think that you don't think that they're worthy, I will kill all of them. Right? That's an interesting ending for her to just it didn't end like a Marvel movie of and then they all lived happily ever after. No,
yeah, then
it was
they all not shawarma. Nah,
yeah, no, I'm gonna be back, and you better make sure that you really fuck with these people like you said you did. That's interesting.
I think
that's an interesting ending, man.
I think it's very interesting. I think it's bold, man.
It's super bold.
Bold. Like these heroes, right? The first heroes, the heroes of humanity. They are the reason that the wrath of God could be upon them, right? Because they chose to develop free will, right? And
they did.
Old Testament God, he's all about look, I don't say you have to love me, but you better love me,
right?
Or that's how people get scared into religion and shit like that, man. It's so I don't know, man. I find these conversations very interesting because it helps me to try and wrestle with my own feelings about God. I got no problem believing in a God, but I like I said, it's very difficult for me to just do it blindly. And that's usually what is expected of people like me.
That's correct. And I Mike and I, for people who don't know, like Mike and I are best friends. We've known each other forever. I'm an atheist, right? So, I obviously look down on him just, as a fundamental rule. I'm kidding.
I look down on Jay physically. He looks
Right.
down on me metaphorically.
Right. Because that's the best I can do because I don't have a stepdad. but that's the thing, right? Like it does make for an interest. Like, God damn it, this movie. Like, this is what drives me crazy, right? Because the reviews, like I said, is a very juvenile response to a movie that is giving up some fucking serious conversations, right? And this is what, like, if you're like, I don't like the fact that it's just kicking and punching all the time. Pay attention. Like, this is serious. Like, look, we're not some Harvard educated dudes. We both grew up in the Baltimore City school system. Okay, relax. Right? So if we can get it, surely other people should be able to. But I do want to jump back for a second about Tiamat, right? Tiamat is this coming celestial that lives inside the earth, who we find out is Tiamat is the metaphorical possibly, is the center of the pro-life, pro-choice argument of this movie, right? If you let the celestial get born, millions and billions and trillions of life will be created in universes and things like that. But we'll destroy everybody and everything on the planet Earth, right? So which one are you going to do, right? Kill the mother or let the child be born, right? With the potential of being great versus this reality. Interestingly enough, Tiamat is the primordial goddess of the sea from a religion in ancient Babylon. It is a creator god. She is referred to as a woman and described as the glistening one. It's suggested that there are two parts to Tiamat's mythos. The first is which Tiamat is a creator goddess through a sacred marriage between different waters. Incidentally, is where she comes out in the end. Peacefully creating the cosmos through successive generations. In her second version, she is a sea serpent or dragon. So it's really kind of interesting that they went with that name, right? That's not happenstance, right? This creator god who is supposed to come and create younger gods. That's a part of it, and create other beings. Again, this ain't the kicking and punching side of the MCU. Like, it's not. It's smart. It's quite smart, and it has a lot to say. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. I want to see it again. Like sitting at home where I don't have to wear a mask for 2.5 hours. But because I think Marvel did something that people thought they were afraid to do, which is really go for a large concept film. And I think a lot of people were like, this doesn't have a man in a robot suit, so it failed. No, it didn't fail. Like, and again, I mentioned in our other review of this that this sets the groundwork for the X-Men, right? Existentialism. What does it mean to be human? What does it mean to exist and not be human in this world, right? Here these characters are, they're superheroes, but they're told by God not to intervene. Not because they're too powerful or whatever, but he was just like, let me lie to you so I can set up all this shit so I can get the birth of this other celestial. Well, what does that mean when the X-Men come about, right? What is their existence? They're not human. Should they intervene? Should they do these things, even though they have the power to change world events, right? These are existential conversations. So, yeah. Look, shout out to Chloe Zhao for doing this. Also, shout out to Kevin Feige for letting her inside his universe.
For letting something like this, I don't know, man. Look, this kind of was a shot in the arm for me in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie and say, well, I was starting to not like them, but like, no, of course I enjoy these movies, but I didn't think they could show me something brand new, right? And
not like this.
Not like this, right? Like, that's why I was so impressed with Doctor Strange, because that third act was just just something I had never seen before.
Right.
This whole movie is something that I've never seen in this world, right?
Right.
Very rarely do I even see it in film, right? Like it's very, look, I really enjoy it, man. I really enjoy it. But there's still some comic book stuff here. You know what I mean? Like,
nigga, Pip the Troll is in this
Pip
movie.
the Troll is in it, right?
Which
Pip
is
the Troll,
wild.
Fucking Star Fox is in it, and what's Jon Snow's name? I don't want to call him Jon Snow.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington is in it. He plays Dane Whitman, a character best known as the Black Knight, and they even reference the ebony blade, his corrupted sword, in the movie.
They show it.
Well, they reference it first, and because one of the characters is talking to Athena, and she's like, "Is that the ebony blade?" She's like, "No, this is just Excalibur. That old thing."
Not a big deal. More
and then the last end credit scene, we see Dane Whitman, contemplating, like, grasping the ebony blade, this fucking cursed blade that'll drive you crazy, right? And all of a sudden, off camera, you hear the dulcet tones of one Mr. Eric Brooks, aka Blade. And
amazing.
Look, man, like, Blade coming. And I'm super interested.
No one saw that coming, yo. No one saw that coming. Get out of here. No one saw that coming. Amazing.
And those two characters are part of a group called MI13, which is like,
oh, is that Britain's, right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're part of a group called MI13, and it's Britain's, like, secret intelligence for, like, paranormal activity.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So I you can introduce some of the characters there. That could be a TV series or I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing can move forward. And I'm very curious, especially as we're getting, like, new pieces, to see what is going to happen and how we're going to get there, right?
I like the idea. There's part of me that kind of loves the idea that they might make Blade the Nick Fury of the occult. He's just, like, going around, like, just be like, "Hey, you ready to join this shit? It's wild over here." It's like, all right. I mean, you want to pick up the sword. Like, we got work to do. Like, I kind of love that. Like, look, man, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Like, that's kind of dope. I mean, I'm just looking at the members of MI13. Like, I feel like Captain Britain's got to be coming at some point, right?
I mean,
like, come on, man. Like, what we doing?
You can't have this group and not have Captain Britain in it, right? You got Captain Britain. I mean, his sister is Betsy Braddock.
Right.
There's and right. If you do a television series, look, the X-Men aren't coming for a while. If MI13 ends up being, like, some sort of serialized thing where you can introduce an offshoot character named Betsy, maybe you find out how that Asian assassin tries to come and kill her, but then, like, her mind gets switched into her body. Like, I don't know, yo. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do, man. There's a lot of different things you can do.
It's fine.
It's exciting, man. I'm so glad that these are back. I really am.
Yeah, look, I feel like the after credit scenes were, like, kind of cool because it was like, oh, there's the old that's the Marvel that you know, right? Like, that's right. The shit you know, right? And I'm fine with that. Like, I wasn't mad at that. But I think that this movie in and of itself is such a powerful testament to what you can do with these characters, right? Like, this movie questions, like, we didn't talk about the deviants, but the deviants are about evolution, right? Like, that's what the characters represent, right? And people are like, oh, these villains won't be that important. That's how you know, because they're not showing them a lot in the trailers. But it turns out, like, that's true, but it's because it was more about the internal struggle of the Eternals. It wasn't so much about them fighting this exterior villain. Like, sure, you'd be
created by God, by the way, created by
Right.
God specifically
to keep them busy,
right? Like
to just keep them busy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I mean,
I really enjoyed this.
It's like, oh, where did these other deviants come from years later? They're like, oh, they got, defrosted by the ice or whatever, because of climate change. Maybe. Or God just was like, put some more there. Because fuck it. Who cares? Let's just see. Right? And it's interesting, like this idea of, yeah, Lucifer exists, but God created Lucifer. Right? Like, like these evils of the world only exist because God allowed them to.
Right.
Your God had to balance shit out. So,
right.
Henceforth, right? You could have just been like, you could just eat as many apples as you want in the fucking, Garden of Eden, and who gives a shit? But that's just not interesting to watch.
Well, no, it's not interesting to watch. And, if it's, I don't want to get into it here, but we can have this conversation offline. Or if you're on our Discord and you really want to have this conversation with me and my views on religion, feel free to hit me up. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, like, look, I will allow me to finish this with a quote I think is very relevant to this episode. Who are you carrying all those bricks for anyway? God? Is that it? God? Well, I'll tell you. Let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you an extraordinary gift. Then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel, he sets the rules in opposition. It's all a goof of all time. Look, don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist. He's an absentee landlord. Worship that? Never. So there you go. Look,
I mean, that sums up maybe that sums up maybe a third of my opinion.
I mean, here's the thing. Devil's Advocate is a ridiculous movie. But that last act is awesome. Like, they were like, Al Pacino, go for it. Who gives a fuck? And he was like, I got it. They still watching this shit? Cool. All right, check this out. Oh my God, such a great movie. But yeah, it's about existentialism. Like, ultimately, it is about why do these characters exist, and it's important. And like, you even get, like you said, you get Kingo's reasoning. Like, look, I'm not trying to. Like, Kingo is like, I'm on some like
Kingo
kind of
me.
Yeah, he's Kingo like, I don't quite know where I want to be.
He doesn't
quite know.
He wouldn't abort. He wouldn't have an abortion, but like, he don't.
I ain't mad at you if you do
to have an abortion. You know what I mean?
Right, like, it's not up for me. It's not up for me. Like,
right. I wouldn't.
Right. But he like, let me mind my motherfucking business. I don't want nothing to do with it. Right. And he's also an egomaniac. So yeah, he's just like you. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. A swole brown dude who has a short, fat friend.
That's a fucked up thing to say about one of your friends. That's not me. So get the fuck out of here. I think we all know the opposite is 100%. That's fucked up. Can't believe you said that about Demetrius. That's fucked up. He gonna be pissed. But yeah, look, it's, like, Kingo represents that. Sprite represents a character who feels like God has fundamentally wronged them in their life, right? Icarus is a fundamentalist. Cersei is Lucifer, which is like an interesting perspective. Gilgamesh's character, where I know people are going to say he's underdeveloped, but his idea is he cares about something and he protects something because that's what he loves, right? And, the rest of them are warriors and things like that for God. So it's interesting. But that's it for us. So check out our regular review of this if you don't like. If you also want to hear the spoiler-free review, just our general thoughts. But look, share this out. We'd appreciate it. That would be cool because I think more people need to understand. There's some deeper things here. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.